Jamaca. I went to Reflections LLC 2024. This was my terminating treatment episode. Got sent from the MA-LADC Deb Chmielewski, right? This happened on December 10th, 2024. She said, "Hi, Mohammed. I'm sending this is message and text and email as this is your preferred method of communication as you have hung up on myself and Chris when we have tried to talk to you and you have asked to write things out. After long thought and process with the entire treatment team, we do not think Reflections is a therapeutic alliance any longer, and we want you to be able to get your needs met therapeutically. So we are going to help and support you get to another program that can help you stay focused on your addiction. Please do not log in tomorrow. Please let me know when you can meet with Chris and myself to discuss options for your care. If you don't want our help, that is okay as well. Respectfully." Now you're wondering, Mohammed, what did you do this time? You're wondering, Mohammed, what did you do this time? Mohammed, 2024 ki haddana maxaa samaysay? Well, I'm going to tell you the short story. I began documenting all the class times, the start and end times, and I began emailing effectively to her, Chris Middleton, the staff at Reflections LLC, telling them that, hey guys, you guys do not have actual class times. And to have actual class times, I'm getting a bill at the end of each month, and it doesn't reflect the times where I showed up to class. So what's going on here? So as someone who was going through drug and alcohol addiction, right, I made it my moment to stand up and stand up for the other clients that were going through drug and alcohol addictions plus ADHD, PTSD, you name it, right? Now, Deb Chmielewski, I met her one time, good person, but I have all the emails that I have with her and her team back and forth, and you guys can see her character based on the emails that's sent. Now, this one right here really doesn't show you much at all. However, yeah, most of the ads on there, these were people in my medical records, and I'm sharing it with my TikTok live because you know why? I can. So I am going to show a lot more stuff. This was a treatment center that I was going to. It's called Reflections LLC Outpatient Substance Use Treatment Program. And I was at the St. Paul location. As you can see, they have 3 locations. I was at the 2356 University Avenue. Lord, I block all negative energy being sent to my chakras. And I release all that pain. I return to sender. So like I said, crazy, right? Now, one of my main counselors there, her name was Miss Chrissy, last name Beach, right? And the reason why I'm bringing up her name is because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a woman, can't really say nothing. However, you had my care, and the way you treated me was unethical. Very unethical. But hey, what's a client's word to a company, right? Ha. And that's where things get what? Extremely interesting. So I'm gonna show you guys the class schedule times that I used to write down on my computer, and I'm gonna go download it real fast. And I'm gonna come back, boom, hadana boom, bam, ba, baratena, bala fire. Doesn't matter if you're yellow, green, purple. If you show traits of narcissism and you're in a position of power, oh yeah, you're gonna have to shut that shit down real fast. Because what I noticed over there was, on a minimal degree, billing fraud, right? And you guys can say allegedly. When I show you guys my documents, and you guys go over with their documents, you're gonna say, what the fuck? They did you like Access Healing Center did. Yeah. Because think about it. Everybody that owns a treatment center in St. Paul, Minnesota, they all know each other. That was my thoughts. So, let's talk about the place that was completely passive aggressive with me and other clients that they picked and choose to like and not like, right? Because people have favorites. However, when I picked up on my medical records there from this gentleman named Patrick, who was at the front desk, never met him, never seen him. My medical records had my name misspelled with 2 M's. Now, I don't know if that's pulling a whole nother insurance billing profile. I don't know. Maybe it was just a typo. I don't know. But that's the least of our worries right now. Let me show you guys what someone who overdosed 6 times is capable of doing. Okay, I'll be right back. What's so loud? Is my phone gonna die? No, it's not. Okay. Guys, I'm back. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys. I don't have my laptop with me, but I'll probably be posting all this stuff. So, okay, so this was 12-2 to 12-9, right? I would make this table when I got onto their Zoom class. I would make a table, and keep in mind the chart keeps going. But the first row is the date, group time, arrival, instructor name, class start time, actual class start time, topic, discussion, break start time, break end time. And there's like 2 more columns after that. Now, me being in Zoom class, having to do this, it took a lot of stress out of me. I'm gonna be honest. But the reason why I did this is because sometimes they would pay that $650 stipend, right? Or if you missed a class, some days they say they have 6 classes, some days 7 classes, don't quote me on that. But as you can see, on some of these days, like on the 3rd, 12/3/2024, there was 1 class, 2 class, 3 class, 4 class, 5 class, 6 classes, right? Now, if you look on 12/5, end of the day. Okay, so 12/9, they had 1 class, 2 class, 3 class, 4 class, 5 class, right? So as you guys can see on here, some days they have 5 classes, some days they have 6. And I would write down that, like, if you look at the end of the day on 12/5/2024, left the group at 11:11 a.m., end of day, went to go run 4.6 miles to center myself. You know what I mean? I don't know, I was just really focused on that. So, okay. So, okay, so when I was going to the treatment center, I arrived here because I was attending New Way on University before it got hit with that $18.5 million fee. And this is before all that. So I left there. They were paying $700 for my rent, which was nice when you're in addiction and you get your rent taken care of. But you have to show up to class in order for that to be helped. Okay, it's like a challenge. People say, oh, it's the best thing ever, but you only know that when you're living it, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody in treatment right now, going through that. Now, I left there because of things just got very repetitive. I felt the energy there. I'm an empath. I didn't really know how to honor my I didn't really know how to handle what was going on, but I knew something was going on. I knew way, and I felt it. I got sensitive to it. So what I did was I left and I got put onto Reflections LLC over in St. Paul. Now they have locations in Stillwater and Duluth, Minnesota. But I was at the St. Paul location on Fairview and University, across the street from the liquor store on the second floor, or the third floor, I believe. Now here's the interesting part. Now when I arrived there, they pay $650 of your stipend, right? Which means that if you show up to all our classes and you're living in a room that's like, let's say $700, right? You're only supposed to pay that $50, which is nice. Now the thing was, I started to realize that even my first month there, while I was arriving, now don't quote me on this, I have all my attendance records, you know what I mean, that I all wrote down. Some of them I had to transfer over from my journal onto Google Sheets. So shout out to Google for this, appreciate you. And some of them I had to really just remember. And the day happened where I went to my counselor at the time. And my counselor at the time, her name was Chrissy, ChrissYbeach. And the first conversation that we had was she was very close with the Somali community and all that stuff. I was like, okay, interesting. You're close with the Somali community. That is interesting to know. And as you guys can see in Minnesota right now, there's all that shit going on. Now, were you close to the Isaks or were you close to the Majetans? Who were you close with? You get me? But at the time, I was really just there trying to find myself. All right. So, first month came, the bill came from the sober home, and the sober home didn't have anything to do with the treatment center at all, right? But the thing is didn't have nothing to do with the treatment center at all. They would just get the invoice, you know what I mean? If a particular client had to pay anything or X, Y, and Z, right? And they'll just forward that to us, right? They had nothing to do with it. However, I definitely was kind of anxious because on top of like all, you know, when you're getting sober, you have like a whole bunch of like a million things running through your mind and all that stuff. Like the stuff for Access Healing Center and all these other places. I can't say that I was thinking about at that time, but it began to, once my mind got clear, I started to begin to see like, okay, yo, I got work to do. I got emails to write. I gotta document these experiences because my mind is fresh right now and I'm getting my memories back. You feel me? So, with that being said, I reached an obstacle. Who's listening right now? If you're listening, press the love button or comment 111. If you're not listening, say the same thing. What's up, Mon Dev? But like I said, there would be some times at the end of months where I would have a higher balance. Like, oh yeah, Muhammad has to pay $100, or Muhammad has to pay another extra $150, and or Muhammad has to pay an extra $60. Just like around that range, right? And the treatment center would be great, you know. They say, hey Mo, I know your financial position right now, so I know that you'll pay for it. I was like, most definitely, thank you. But at the end of the day, I didn't really know exactly what class did I miss. So I started to like go to class and start to like jot down in my journal, okay, how many classes are going on here? And I started to get all their business cards because I'm like, yo, listen, I got to make sure that I don't get fucked over like I did back in Access Healing Center. And I want to document all of this on my email straight up. I ain't taking no chances. I'm documenting all this stuff. Why? Because I want to have it on my memories. So I'm requesting my counselor's business card. She gives me her business card, but then it raises her antennas a little bit. There was 1 month that I didn't pay nothing. Like only 1 month. It said, oh yeah, you have a $0 balance. Interesting. Nice. And that month was the month that I was emailing back and forth with the times I showed up to class. I would literally email this to my counselor and the owners there. I would email my class schedule straight to them. So at the end of the month, you guys are not going to say, oh yeah, this person missed 2 groups or 3 groups or 4 groups. Think about it though. Some days they had 9 groups. Some days they had 7 groups. Okay, what is your base pay per class? They didn't have no actual class schedules. So what did Chris Middleton do? Chris Middleton what? Finally gave us class schedules. Damn near 6 months later after I arrived. Shortly later, they said, hey, you are being, we recommend a higher therapeutic care for you. You know what I mean? Interesting. Probably because allegedly I stopped a lot of money flow from flowing into your business now that you guys are making off of. Forget about the other hundreds and hundreds of clients that you guys have. If you're doing it to me and you guys don't have any like documentation down, if I arrived that day, if you guys didn't have any documentation down of like, okay, our client is going to arrive and ask, okay, here's my schedule, everything that I jotted down for every class. So going to Zoom was a lot more easier because I began to document everything. And then I realized, oh my God, this place is a game. Because as much as you claim that you help, I'm looking at the billing aspect now. And then other clients are coming up to me telling me the same thing is happening to them. But other clients are like, nah, bro, we got a 0 bill, bro. We're good to go. Interesting. So I got to kiss ass in order for my balance to be $0? Yeah. And then you want to know what Chris Middleton told me? Who works for Reflections LLC. He said, there's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing, man. Let's say that. And I'm not afraid to speak up about anybody. But come on, man. How you gonna operate a treatment center in St. Paul? Like, go keep that shit in Stillwater. Why you gotta put that shit in St. Paul, and then why do you gotta what? Take from the people that are literally building your business? If you don't have no actual class times, then how much are you guys charging, sending invoices or claims to insurance for? Okay, is it okay if one day you have 5 classes, one day you have 4 classes, but are you guys billing for those 6 or 7 classes? Okay, if a client doesn't show up for one group, how much is that? These are answers that we just cannot get from them. They wouldn't even tell us how it works. If you guys are not honest with us about how your billing works, now guess what? I got other clients asking questions now. You begin to see once you guys follow the money, and like the emails that I was getting back and forth from Deb Chmielewski, the emails, if you just read the email, I would read it, I would put it through my AI software from multiple different perspectives. Is this person acting positive on my side? Is this person acting like they're supposed to with their rules and regulations? Or are they violating rules and regulations? Or what is their tone of voice? Deflection, deflection, deflection. Neglect, deflection. They will never answer the question directly. They will always minimize your problems, even if it's about what? The money. So you know what I did? I said, interesting. I'm going to be sending all these emails at 7:34 a.m., 7:34 a.m., right? 9:11 a.m., 10:10 a.m., 11:11 a.m., 12:12 p.m., 1:11 p.m., 1:23 p.m. These are numbers that I will use when I'm sending my emails and scheduling my emails, right? Because if you want to be petty, I can be petty too. I'm going to be sitting right there in class. I already got 2 other emails being sent to you guys. And guess what? It's not an email where it's like nothing. It's an email that has substance. Imagine